Hey everybody, it's your boy Captain Hunter coming at you again. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join this podcast, watch this episode, etc., yada yada. As I record this, it is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And in honor of that, I wanted to do something to help for all the mothers who are really mothers out there, who are doing their best on their game, trying to raise the best children that they can, single, married, whatever. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing in order to increase and enhance and to benefit the Black community. Thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to you. If you watch this obviously a little bit later, then happy belated Mother's Day or happy anniversary or happy birthday, all that kind of good stuff, right? So I think this is good one for you. Of course, I think everything I do is good, but you never know. So I came across this video the other day, and then I came across Miss Amala Ekpanobi. I'm not exactly sure how she says her last name, Ekpanobi. And so I wanted to do this video in honor of that, in honor of these people who are speaking up. The last video I did, if you haven't watched it, make sure that you check it out. I talked about who can actually criticize Black people, and this particular young lady right here. Take note of her natural hair. If you you can't see my cursor going over, but take note of her natural hair. She's going to critique and criticize the Black community, Black culture, and I'm so glad that she is, and I'm so glad that the women are speaking up, because I think for a long time, for too long of a time, and I did a show about the therapist. Go watch that.
Let me play the video so you can see exactly what my problem is and was with this young lady.
So let me tell you what I don't like about hood Black people.
She's telling us what she thinks about hood Black people and what she doesn't like about them.
Okay, got it? All right, good.
I did a show about the therapist who had no smoke for ghetto hood behaviors. I was utterly disgusted by it, and I'm glad that this young lady and Miss Amala are speaking up about it. I'm not going to play Miss Amala. You can go over there and watch that. So let me just put this up on the screen here. Usually, when I do this, I just have the video here, but I want to show what I mean by people speaking up, right? So there's a plethora of videos here. This is the side of YouTube here that we can try to get in here. So we can see Miss Amala says she's right. Black American ghetto culture is dying, and I think I'm not exactly sure what the rest of that says. Yeah, it's not popping up. Then the next one underneath that, Black culture lost the plot. This TikTok trend has the Black community. I don't know what they're doing, but there's just more thumbnails of things to click on. And, of course, it's gonna play to your last algorithm and all that kind of stuff, right? Does the Black community value life? This is exactly why Blacks don't support Black. This one is Black businesses. I didn't watch that one. Why I'm not a strong Black woman. The glorification of hood culture. The real talk, right? So you can click on all these, right? These people have way more views than I do, the racial hierarchy, who's on the bottom, why Black athletes date white women. Black women were programmed to use as pawns. This idea that they're trying to get us away from each other. Dear Black people, we need to talk now, right? All this type of stuff. He's right. The biggest lessons facing the issues facing the Black community. So you can go over to this. Make sure you go over to Miss Zaria Simmons' page. Give her a like. All that kind of stuff, right? Because I think that in all these people need a like, including myself, because I think that these people are trying to save the community. Many of them, as you saw, are the ladies, and we need more men to speak up. And the ladies, I'm glad they're speaking up, because again, there was too many of them co-signing this type of behavior. Too many ladies co-signing this behavior, saying it's okay, saying they're queens, saying that you don't have to change, you can live your best life. All this different type of destructive language. Look at, I don't even know who this lady is, but this one is Sexy Red. I don't know who these two at the top are. I don't know who they are, right? Then there's a picture of a guy. a couple of guys holding a gun, right? We can't. One person can't do it alone. One voice crying in the wilderness isn't going to get it done. And so we need the ladies, the men. We need the ladies really to speak up and police the ladies. We need the ladies to speak up and say that they are on the page, that they are holding a standard, holding a line, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it in here. Listen to what Miss Zaria Simmons has to say, because she says that ghetto blacks are a problem.
That nobody asked for. I am sick of seeing Black Americans in the media, on social media, in the news, doing crime, walking around next to naked, the women, the men perpetuating gang violence, substance abuse. The absolute worst of our community is oversaturating the media, even though they make up a small percentage of all of Black Americans. The decay of our morality within Black communities has been slowly declining over the past 20 years, and no one is talking about it, no one is saying anything about it or trying to address it. And if you do, you are often told that you're policing Black bodies. If you say Black women, stop getting on the internet and in the media, twerking, walking around with little clothes on. People tell you that you're policing bodies, policing Black bodies, or it's respectability politics. If you are Black.
Let me just say, now suppose you're watching this and you're saying, well, it's not all of us, and this is the media glorification, we got to watch it, and yes, you're policing, you're talking down, you're mommying, you're taking all these different negative type of terms. Well, I think that's exactly her point, is that you can believe that there's a conspiracy to make us look bad, to keep us back, to hold us back. You can say that, you can believe that, and all that, but stop feeding into this. Right, it's still the negative seems to be outshining the positive. Right, there was a time before, I haven't seen one of these in a while, where people are having celebration parties because they got into a certain college. Right, they open up a different letter and they would have do a reaction video to that. Or when was the last time that anybody saw or anybody heard of a really a good strong graduation parties instead of some type of celebration for doing a bid for 10 years and a coming home party or whatever. Listen, we have to make a strong stand as positive individuals and say, we're going to take back our collective image. And part of taking back our collective image is by calling out this type of nonsense and foolishness that seems to be overly perpetrated in the media. I tell a story about, when I went to a vacation one time in Pennsylvania, and apparently that part of Pennsylvania is really, really limited, and there are amount of melanated people. And if you watch the news, there was a white robbery this and a white bank robber here and a carjacking over here, and these people assaulted this individual. If you've seen these people, and they were the vast majority of them were white individuals. So we know, and then you can go to FBI statistics, and you can look at the crime data and know that there's more white people, so they're going to commit more crimes. But it is, in a sense, the media portrayal of these problems. But calling it out, saying that we shouldn't be sagging our pants, saying that we shouldn't be flaunting our bodies, saying that there is something wrong with single motherhood, out of wedlock birth rates, saying these types of things doesn't make us any less Black, any less lovers of our community. In fact, we're saying these things because we want to be aunties and uncles, because we want to be individuals who are speaking up and speaking for the collective. And so calling it out, as I showed the thumbnail of different individuals who have a substantial amount of views, 65,000 views, 449,000 views, 44,000 views, 750 views, 27,000 views, 60,000. All right, people are calling it out and they're looking at it, and so we got to keep calling it out so we can keep looking at it so we can do something about it. And what we have to bring back, and this is known as a sociological phenomenon, that woman on the stoop, right? The woman next door who cared enough to discipline your kids, and then when you got home from work would tell you about yourself. And what we need to bring back, not only the woman on the stoop, or the woman in the window, whatever phenomenon you want to call it, but we also need to bring back the idea that these people have the ability to speak up and to and to be receptive to it, right? Not try to fight the people who are telling us, right? We got to bring that back. We got to bring that back. There's got to be some type of corrective action that has to be taken against people who stand against the community, and that's always been the issue, right? The church at one time, if you are an unwed mother in the church, right, they wouldn't have all these celebrations and birthday parties and whatever. It's slipping my memory right now, but whatever that situation was, where they, a child party that they would have to bring all gifts for a newborn about to be born. It's eluding me right now. But anyway, so we got to, there was none of that, right? There was shame, and there was respect, and there was a way to discipline, and that's what I think is very, very lacking. And I wish I'm not a member of fraternity or sorority, but I think that is an important thing. And when you have these people when those people can actually gain the power to call those people out and exclude people from being a fraternity member, a sorority member, joining different clubs, joining different churches, when they had the ability to exclude people, even from, hair salons, right? If you now listen, we don't do your hair because you'll be out there dancing and stuff. Now we can't support that type of thing. Imagine how far that would get us as a community if we had that type of solidarity and how we're going to do this, right? Let's continue on.
And you speak your piece on what we're seeing in the media. If you don't like seeing the low morality that is often portrayed about the Black community in the media, from the trap music to the Black women twerking in music videos and all over social media, the Sukihanas and the Sexy Reds of the world, if you are Black and you take issue with it and you talk about it, you are usually called bourgeois, sadiddy, uppity, it's respectability politics, you're policing Black bodies and the like. And it's like,
yes, I totally agree. I want to keep her on her rant here. But notice also, her hair is natural. No raptor claws. I personally don't really mind natural or a little bit of lip polish, but no makeup. If she has makeup on, it's very, very natural and toned down. Clear makeup polish. You can actually see her collarbone. Right? Fit, feminine, friendly, in shape, right? No nose booger rings, right? Here we go.
no, I'm Black too. And as such, this being my ethnic culture as well, I have a right to have something to say about what I'm seeing going on. Your average Black American is a middle-class, working-class, blue-collar Jane and Joe. The ghetto subculture, Black ghetto subculture that we see often portrayed and over-inundated and oversaturating the media, those Black Americans make up a tiny, tiny percentage of Black Americans as a whole. But somehow they're in the media, overcompensating in the media, oversaturating the media. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say that I'm sick of seeing it, that it's gross, that it is destroying what Black culture actually is. It's co-opting Black culture as a whole and making it seem as though all of Black culture is ghetto subculture. I'm not the only Black American who takes issue with it. Because like I said, majority of Black America is middle class, not in the ghettos, not out here perpetuating gang violence, promiscuity, and everything else. And I don't care if you claim it's respectability politics. I guess so be it, because this is gross. It's getting really gross out here how blatantly disrespectful and low class we're acting on social media and in the media, on the internet, on TV. And you can claim that this is someone else's set of moral standards, but no, it isn't. It isn't. Look at...
And listen, I've heard that so many times. We got respectability. Everybody should have their own. Why do we have to adhere to these different people's standards and all? Right, we're not European. Why should we have to adhere to their standards? Well, the question I have is, what standard do you have? What standard do you? Okay, you don't want to. You reject European standard because they colonized us, because they kidnapped us. Okay. All fine, well, dandy, and true. But what standard have you set for yourself? That's the question. What standard have you set for yourself? And that is an issue, right? And so, yes, there is. So tell me what standard you have for yourself first of all. Second of all, what I would say is the limited amount of people who are causing on a problem. Again, is this simply a situation where the media is pressing this type of thing? I'll fast forward a little bit. Media is pressing this type of thing. Is the media just perpetuating this type of thing, making us look bad, all that kind of stuff, right? And again, we are making the music. We are calling our people the N-word. We're at comedy shows and we're saying it left and right. We're doing this. We are part of the problem. We are part of the problem, and there's not enough saying, acting against these type of behaviors. That is the issue. That is the issue. I'm going to play a little bit more of this, and I want you to go over to Ms. Zaria's page, give her a like, subscribe to her, etc., to keep this message going and growing.
Class were acting on social media and in the media, on the internet, on TV, and you can claim that this is someone else's set of moral standards, but no, it isn't. It isn't. Look at Black America in the 50s, in the 60s. Our moral standards back then drastically different from what we have today, or what we're convincing ourselves is a moral standard today.
And exactly, and what standard are we holding up to? You could still say that it was the 50s, okay, we were just trying to fit into the greater dominant culture. But what culture do you have today in 2024, as I record this? What culture, what standard is it? If there's no standard, we're just free spirits, but what is that doing to our society? What is that doing to our culture? What is that doing to our collective image? What is that doing to the future of our children? What is that doing for our prospects for gaining jobs, for starting businesses? What is it doing for any of these prospects? What is it doing for our single motherhood rates? What is it doing for us, for our fathers sticking around? What is it doing for our children in their education? Our boys can't read. 10% of our boys can read on grade level. What is it doing for any of that? How is any of this positively affecting any of the parameters by which we live our life, by any of the standards by which we live our life, by any measure that we live our life? How is any of this being positive?
Every racial group on the face of the planet has their own ghetto subculture within their respective racial and ethnic groups. This is the case for everybody, everywhere. White people, Asian people, Mexican people, you name it. The difference is that those racial groups and those ethnic groups do not allow their ghetto subculture to co-opt the entire culture as a whole and to represent the entire culture as a whole. They don't allow it. Everybody else within that respective ethnic group or cultural group or racial group has a right to say how they want to see themselves represented in the media, what they want to see and what they don't want to see, who gets to speak for them and who does not. Except for when you're a Black American and you have something to say about the way that you see Black Americans being portrayed in the media and you have a critique for your peers. You can't.
I'm going to leave it off right there because this is obviously much longer than hers. Hers is 6 minutes. I'm already at 17 minutes if I cut a little bit of this out, or 18 minutes. So yes, go over to her page, give her a like, finish it off. I think that what she's saying is definitely spot on. It is, we are allowing ourselves to be co-opted by other groups, other individuals. We have refused to set a standard. We have refused to live by that standard. We have, we have glorified these type of things. Malcolm X said this, right? He said that it was really the problem within Black America was Americanism. We have so tried to become a part of the dominant group culture society that we have given away our morals, our collective values, and we have sold ourselves for Americanism, right? This idea that we can go in and we just chase the almighty dollar, capitalism, right? People are shaking their butts on the internet. They're stripping off the internet. They got all these different wild color hairs. They're doing all this stuff on social media for attention, for clicks and likes, and to make that money, to get that bag. And it is destroying our community. It is destroying our community. That type of behavior is destroying the community. So give her a thought, give her a like, go over to these other individuals. If it pops up in your thumbnails, give them a like. Much love and peace. Give me a like as well. Let me know your thoughts, your opinion. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Much love and peace, everyone. Before I go, let's read through some of these comments here. And I just gave them a like. I'm doing this from my LMH consulting page. Are you following me there? So keep up the good work. I give them some likes here. More people like you need to speak up. Every time I speak properly, they tell me I'm acting white. What a time to be alive. This decline. There's 1,000 likes for that one. Yeah, this decline has been happening for over 40 years. Normalizing murder and mayhem is just sickening. I wish they'd stop calling hip hop the culture. It's shameful and not my culture. Great points. I live in Atlanta and all of that happens here. I don't care what skin color someone has. I just don't want to be around trashy, ignorant people. 100% facts. We allow hood culture to be redefined as Black American culture. A lot of traditions lost due to twerking and foolishness. 2.2 thousand likes. I give that a like too. Does it ever occur to ghetto culture fans that they are simply confirming the Black stereotypes the rest of society already believes? 24-year-old Black man here. About time somebody said it. And I'm going to play, yes, 24-year-old Black man here, right? So I'm going to play again. I'm going to play this again. I'm going to keep playing this because I'm not trying to shame the individual, but I am trying to shame the mindset of higher educated thinking people who co-sign this type of foolishness and who don't speak out about it. It's not directed towards her as a person, but it is directed toward the mindset of higher educated people who have PhDs and MSWs and master's degrees and you name it, who co-sign this kind of stuff. So I'll leave off the video with that. Much love and peace, everyone.
So let me tell you what I don't like about hood Black people.
She's telling us what she thinks about hood Black people and what she doesn't like about them.
Okay, got it? All right, good.